What is going on, guys? The Inside the Loop podcast, and today breaking down a horrific, the worst loss of the season for the New York Yankees as they lost by a lot to the Chicago White Sox. And this series, it should have been a bloodbath. The Yankees should have taken the White Sox and destroyed them. Now, I only took one game, and I'm not making this whole big overreaction, but to get your ass whooped by the Chicago White Sox, that is unacceptable. And, I don't know what goes on in that clubhouse or the locker room, whatever you want to call it. But, if this game is not a wake-up call, then I don't know what's going to wake up this team. Now, of course, baseball is baseball. Totally understand that. But there's a difference with this baseball is baseball, because this is a Chicago White Sox team that is awful. Okay? They are awful. Like you want to talk about a team that has nothing going for them for the rest of the year? It's the Chicago White Sox. This team has nothing to look forward to except for their season ending. The Yankees are trying to catch the Baltimore Orioles and try and get a comfortable lead for the division. If they want to really win the division, they have to beat up teams like this. August is the easiest month for the New York Yankees. They have one of the easiest remaining schedules. And we're going to throw a game 12-2? What is that? How do you even defend that? There is no defending anything. You were 2 for 18 in runners in scoring position. That's 2 for 18, sorry. That's already horrific. I think it was they had 16 plate appearances in the first four. Something, it was 16 plate appearances in the first 4 innings. Something crazy. I know comments can definitely back me up, or whatever that stat was that Ryan Rucco, who was calling the game, said. But regardless, it wasn't like you were playing against Garrett Crochet either. You were taking on I think it was Kyle Busch, something like that. Let me see his name. Kai Busch, second career start, MLB. He was in the farm system for a while, I think. And he throws 4 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 walks, which is a very big concern. But if they don't score, it's obviously a win for you. And 2 strikeouts. The Yankees had two runs. One of them from Aaron Judge getting an RBI, and one of them from Anthony Volpe scoring Jazz Chisholm, who left the game later. With this Yankees team, I'm looking at the stats, and I know I'm not trying to be a big stat merchant and all this, but some of these guys need to have better games. Alex Verdugo, I understand he walked twice and he did score, but I need you to do something with that bat. I know he wasn't getting the greatest pitches, but Alex Verdugo is a guy, if he's going to lead off, going forward, he needs to play really good. Because I am an Alex Verdugo, I guess you could say I don't love the way he presents himself. Because I feel like he's got this ego, he's just badass. Look at me. I'm the leadoff guy for the New York Yankees, and I'm going to show you, what type of player I am. The guy's batting, 230? The guy's batting 230. And that is already a concern if you're going to be my leadoff hitter. And another thing is, I know Yankee fans love Dominguez. I am one of them. He's batting 239, Alex Verdugo, 10 RBI, 10 home runs, 74 strikeouts, and an on-base percentage under 300. Last year, he was batting 264 and an on-base percentage of over 320 with 13 home runs. So, but getting back to the Dominguez talk, who's actually playing good, and I know it's just to get the rust off. The reason why, for all the Dominguez fans out there that want to be caught up right now, the reason why he's not getting called up is because apparently the Yankee front office has so much belief in Alex Verdugo because of his defense and his glove and all that. Dominguez is a switch-hitting hitter. We've seen glimpses of what he can do to pitcher is he can crush the ball, get on base, do all that type of stuff, hit from both sides. But, I mean, if Alex Verdugo was dealt at the deadline, where there was some talks, then, and they did decide to move him, Dominguez would probably be in this lineup tonight, and he would be playing. And Brian Cashman spoke out, I think on like a radio show, that, you know, as of right now, we have no plans in calling him up. We're trying to get the rust off in the minors and all this nonsense. Dominguez is the better player, and he'll help you more than I think Alex Verdugo. If Alex Verdugo played against the Boston Red Sox for 162 games, he'd probably be in the MVP conversation because that guy apparently just rakes against the Red Sox. He batted close to 500 in the series, but when he plays against the White Sox or, you know, any team, he doesn't do well. I don't know what it is, but it's unacceptable. And I could rant on Alex Verdugo for probably 15 minutes, but I'm not going to because there are a lot of other concerns. And we'll get into the deadline talk and all that. We have a lot to discuss. Yeah, I mean, the offense was led by Aaron Judge. That's no surprise. Soto had a few walks. But still, I mean, this team, you want to talk about a team that absolutely just blew it up last night, and not a good way. Not a good way. I mean, we look at the box score here. It got to a point that the Yankees were down 12-2 in the 8th inning. Against the White Sox, they've not scored that many runs at all. The Yankees are the only team to allow 10-plus runs to them. And this is a team that, you know, we want to consider them World Series contenders. And I know this podcast so far kind of acts like me overreacting, but like, this is unacceptable. This stuff cannot happen. You can't, like, okay, if they lost the game like 6-4 to the White Sox, I wouldn't be as mad. Because baseball is baseball and this type of stuff happens. But a 12-2 loss, I don't think happens. The Yankees did not hit well in this game. Judge, who had a deep flyout that would have been a home run in Yankee Stadium, but we're not playing in Yankee Stadium. We're playing in, granted, Wright Field in Chicago. And Nestor Cortez is on the mound tonight. I'm recording this the day of the game. Nestor Cortez has got to ball out because Luis Gil did not have his A-plus stuff. And that's very unlike Gil because Luis Gil was pitching quite good over a 4-game span. I mean, he had like a 2 ERA, 3 wins, like 27 Ks. Like, the guy was balling out. And he just lost command of everything. His slider, everything was all over the place in that game. And you would have liked to have a better start because, I mean, I think if Gil gives you 6 innings of, 2-run ball, where you probably would have maybe came out on top of this game, or you probably wouldn't have lost 12-2. But, looking at this, everything. I mean, Stanton 1 for 5, not great. Soto with no hits, but 3 walks. Wells 1 for 4. Jazz Chisholm, who left the game with an elbow injury, he seems to be okay. Anthony Volpe 1 for 3, and Anthony Volpe has not been great recently. Obviously, coming out of the All-Star break, I expected him to bounce back. He did. Now these last few games, this recent stretch has been great. He's been kind of a streaky player in his young career, and I don't love that because when things are going high, then it's like, all right, he's gonna go back down. It's like a roller coaster. Like, he's up here and then he's down here. So I love the guy. We can obviously see in Anthony Volpe's young career that he can bat 270 in this league. He can bat 280. But then also he can go on a stretch where he's 0 for his last 23. So it's very interesting. But and also one more thing that I haven't even mentioned about Alex Verdugo. Alright, getting to the Alex Verdugo comments, he said after the bunt attempt, during post-game, he said, I kind of didn't want to bunt, but I was already kind of out there. I just got a little lazy with it and popped it up. That's like the first bunt I've ever popped up. It happens. Then he also said this comment after a reporter said, "Is this a wake-up call for you guys?" And he said, "No, I just think it's a normal day. Another day where it just happens that we're on the tough side of it. It's baseball, right? I mean, yeah, they're one of the worst teams if you want to put it that way, but these guys are still big leaguers. They can still have days where they're clicking. We saw a lot of their guys 3 for 4, 3 for 4. These guys can still have good days. We just have to do a better job of coming out and cashing in those runs we had on base and step on them early. With them getting out of those jams, we gave them a little bit of momentum. They ran it with it today." Hit the damn baseball. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, sure, they're big leaguers, but your roster is a lot better than the White Sox. Honestly, I'll say it. They're probably 10 times better than that White Sox team. Their best hitter in terms of OPS was Andrew Vaughn, and this guy's OPS was a 687. That is awful. Like, below average type awful. And you allow them to score 12 runs. And by the way, Dominguez is not being called up. And we're seeing these type of comments that it's just a normal day. This is not a normal day. A normal day does not consist of you getting your ass wrecked by the Chicago White Sox. That's not a normal day. That's a very rare occurrence. But this is a normal day? Like, such a casual response. I should have been like, this cannot happen. This is unacceptable. We have to be better and get after it tomorrow. That's the response he should be saying. And that's not going to get him, like, benched. A type of comment like that should get you benched. But unfortunately, the depth is so awful on this team that he has to play. Thanks, Brian Cashman. I'm going to get into Cashman in a moment. But my gosh. And then the bullpen. Enley de los Santos absolutely craps the bed. 7 earned runs in an inning and 2/3, 8 hits, a 1 strikeout, hooray, and a home run allowed. And by the way, this was, strikeout type guy. More like home run derby, soft toss pitching, it felt like. That line is like when you do a soft toss men's league game. Those numbers are horrific. I'd rather have Ron Marinaccio be called up than see Enley de los Santos. And I'm not saying Ron's perfect, but I know he's not going to crap the bed like that. And I kind of feel bad for Ron. He's up and down. Only reason why he pitched was he was appointed as the 27th man. You can do that in double headers. So it's like the only reason why Ron's going to be called up is if the Yankees play double headers, and they're not good in double headers. They split a lot. And I understand, it's a lot of baseball and all that, but my gosh. And another thing is, when it comes to playoff time, who is the reliever like, okay, this guy's coming in, and he's going to shut down the door guaranteed? Is that Cousins? Is that Tommy Kahnle? Because, respectfully, it sure is not Clay Holmes. I understand his numbers have been better, but he still gives Yankee fans heart attacks. So who is it going to be? I'm going to assume it's Cousins, because I think Kahnle's too predictable, with him throwing changeup after changeup after changeup. Don't get me wrong, his changeup is very good. But there was a time where he threw it 16 times in a row. You would think for major leaguers they'd eventually jump on that. But, there's a lot of questions still. With Brian Cashman and his deadline. I know it's still early, but we've kind of seen, a decent amount. Jazz has played 14 games now. He's hitting over 300. It's at dead 300, sorry. He's got 7 bombs, I think. Like, the guy's hitting good. Good addition. Now, when it comes to Mark Leiter and Enley de los Santos, Sure, Leiter's stuff is cool, but the execution, it's hit or miss. He was good with the Phillies in that series, and he kind of got beat up. He allows base runners, and he puts himself in trouble. And come playoff time, if you're going to do that, Yankees are going to have to use their bullpen a lot. I do have confidence in the starting rotation still. I think, your 1-2 is, Cole, Heel, Rodon. Not sure who the fourth guy is. Either Stroman, Schmidt. Definitely not Nestor Cortez. That guy has played himself out. His stuff isn't like that 1 year he had. And it will never be like that. I don't know what he's going to bring tonight, but it's got to be something that shows me some sort of hope that we can keep you in the, playoff rotation. Is he even trustworthy coming out of the pen? Man, I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Tonight needs to be much better. It needs to be much better. If they find a way to lose this series against the Chicago White Sox, I might actually lose it. And I know for all the viewers that tune in, you guys know I don't usually rant. It takes a lot for me to rant on this team. And sure, they had a rough stretch, and I was quite calm because I thought they would rebound. And they kind of did, but then they play games like this, and it's like, so we're back to where we were before. Team's confusing, man. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I better see a rebound. I better not see the lead just go like that. If you're going to put up 3 runs tonight, then my gosh, things got to change in that batting cage. Whatever they're teaching down there, let's make a few adjustments. Let's win tonight, fellas. And that's going to do it. Of course, don't forget, check out the merch. This has been the Inside the Blue Podcast. I'm your host, Vin. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload these videos. Apologies for the background noise. But of course, let's go Yankees. Let's win tonight. Let's win the series. And my goodness, can we kick their ass? I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.